Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to round 4 of the Porsche Multiclass Cup. My name is Anders, and I will be your host for this evening's event. And we're at Road Atlanta today. If I just quickly flick cameras. Road Atlanta, I have no idea who is going to do well and who is going to do badly. The split is not very good this evening, I will be honest. There are a lot of Porsche Cup Series cars, which is the one that you can see on your screens right now, compared to the GT4s. There's only 4 GT4s, which is not the best, and in fact, currently there's only 3 that are on the server. So, not the best multi-class split going today, but nonetheless, the racing should be pretty good. It's currently free practice out there on track right now, and if I load up my web browser and I go to the standings, we can have a quick look at the standings. Boop. So here is the standings. This is for the Porsche Cup Series, the sprint class. So Jay Skyring is in the lead with 70 points. 66 is close behind with 63. Lloyd in third with 52, with a lot to do in regards to catching up with Jay Skyring. Not quite sure it's going to happen, to be honest. I think Skyring and 66 will probably battle it out till the end now. Mayer in P4 with 46, Butler in P5 with 34, but it should be more because he did a race in the GT4 class. But sadly I can't move those points over. Coulson's in P6 with 32, Sobek in 7th with 21, Rabber in 8th with 12, and Ribano with 10, as well as Pindelia with 10. And Ollie Smith with 9 to round us off in the bottom, or in the top 12. And then GT4 class, Oshegan is currently in the lead with 40 points, and I don't believe they're on again tonight, so the lead will go massively down. Butler's now in the sprint series, so that will be his GT4 championship pretty much come to an end. J. Cole is the only one that's online currently with 25 points, could easily go into the lead this evening if he wins the GT4's class. Burridge is also another one that could possibly get ahead of Oshegan depending on where they finish today. If they finish in P2, they'll be tied on points. Rabber is P6, but again, as you've seen, he's now in the sprint class. Graham is not registered for this evening, so sadly no more points going for Graham after that epic P3 drive last week. Mole is nowhere to be seen, so I'm going to guess he's a little bit busy, bless him, and is currently in P8. Harley in P9, again not registered tonight, and Wood to round off our top 10 with 14 points. And whilst we're still in free practice, let me talk you through other PNR events that we have coming up in the future. GT2 class is heading to a very good question. That's where it's leading to. It's leading to a very good question. Tonight you're watching the Porsche Multiclass Series here on PNR, Pretty Ninja Racing on YouTube. Very glad to have you here, and I hope you enjoy tonight's race. The PNTC are heading back to Britain. Thruxton, the fastest circuit in the UK, always provides incredible racing around Thruxton. Last season it was probably, in my opinion, the best race of the series, and now I'm just trying to find where GT2 Mugello, how can I forget they're at Mugello? And we have some new GT2 cars which I'll mention to you about soon, because I was going to do that on Monday nights, but the stream crashed, so I didn't have time to do so. So I will tell you about that soon enough. So we're just coming up to the last few minutes of practice, and we can see that Jay Skyring is currently P2, 2 tenths behind Butler. This circuit is going to be very tricky with the tyre wear. It's up to 200% tyre wear, or 300% tyre wear, I think, actually. Yeah, 300% tyre wear for both of these classes. And Atlanta Raceway, as you can see, isn't the easiest of circuits. GT4s are going to have the hardest time right now, as we see Cole's butt livery. And Burridge has been practicing a hell of a lot for this week's race. He really wanted to give a good fight to Cole, so let's hope no awkward complications will arise for them. looks like we have another new driver, Bellet. They seem fairly new to the series, driving the GT4 category today. It's fast enough for this circuit, I would say. And the rear end is rather happy. So I'll have to wait and see how they get on. It could well be that these three GT4 cars might actually provide quite good racing if they're all relatively near each other. 66 currently chasing down Skyring in the championship. He's currently P4 on circuit, but it is only free practice, so there is a lot of chance to be gained in regards to points today, because quite frankly Atlanta road circuit is really quite difficult. Molodan's back this week, glad to have them back, and hopefully they will get a very good result this week. Last week was a bit of a troublesome race for them, I would say, but hopefully they'll be able to get a decent result this time around. A couple of little errors here and there causing a good result to slip. Gillicky, I believe that name has definitely been in our races before. Oh, and Spall is in, actually. I lie. Spall is in, but he's in the sprint category this time around. He's now got his amateur license. Oh, that's good. So he's promoted himself from GT4 to the 911 Sprint Series. Molodan is actually really good. Sorry, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce your YouTube username, because I'm guessing that's Greek, actually, isn't it? It looks Greek to me. I could be wrong. Sorry if I am wrong. But, yeah, he was very good last week. There was just a couple of little errors last week, which cost him a couple of positions. But I think the tyre wear may have caught him out last week. But hopefully he'll get a really good result this time around. Lap times are looking really solid. Only 1.2 seconds off the fastest lap, which, quite frankly, is not to be sniffed at. Not to be downplayed in any way. Who else have we got? We got Mayer driving today in the pink Ferrari. Flipping it, I cannot speak today. My brain is completely and utterly fried from my full-time job. It's just, yeah, I really enjoy my full-time job. It's very nice. But it makes my brain fried when it comes to trying to read people's names, because I just say any old random stuff. Who else is new? Eugene? I'm going to assume that's how you pronounce it. Skyrim goes top of the leaderboard, but again, it's only free practice. We don't need to worry about that. And into the pit lane they come. I am intrigued. The sprint class is looking quite tight, actually, throughout the grid, realistically. I am intrigued to see how this is going to go. Pliska, another new name that I'm not quite seen before. Very politely pulled over, that's very nice. Very polite, very polite. As Burridge is on track, as I mentioned, Burridge has been absolutely grinding this past week in the GT4s, and if that happens in a race, you can put all the practice in the world, but all it takes is one moment to ruin your race, and that's evidence of it right there. So hopefully Burridge will be able to keep all four wheels on the tarmac this time around. Perio, it's another name that I've not seen before. It's nice to see all these new people in our series. Hopefully they'll enjoy it. Hopefully they'll get some good racing. Moves up to P9 as well. Good lap time, 24.488. And again, very politely pulls over. Very nice. Very nice. And now we are just waiting. Molodan comes into the pit lane. Where's Burridge as well? Burridge is also the last one on track. We know that this isn't a lap time because we saw him completely lose it. Just like an Eminem track. Lose yourself in the movement. Trying to put on a little show for us, but slightly failing. Right, I'll talk you through our events one more time a little bit more seamlessly. Tonight you're watching the Porsche Multiclass Series hosted by P&R on the World Sim Series website. That is tonight. Next Monday night, the P&R Touring Car Season 4 is heading over to Thruxton, Britain, the fastest race circuit in the UK. going to provide absolute carnage. And the GT2 World Championship is heading to Italia, Mugello, which should provide some rather good racing now that we have some brand new GT2 cars, which have recently been added to the World Sim 6 website. And I'll tell you where we're heading next week to the Porsche Multiclass later on. But we're just waiting now for the server to update, and hopefully it will do that relatively soon. And it's much nicer to look at this screen rather than just a chain fence, which I'm looking at right now. In fact, what I could do whilst we're waiting for qualifying to kick in is show you what you can expect from the GT2 class now. So you can hear the cars out on track, but this Sunday you'll either be able to drive the BMW M3 GT2, which is a current car anyway, the Dodge Viper GT2, the new Ferrari 488 Challenge Evo GT2, or the Lamborghini Huracan ST Evo 2 GT2. Now, I love the Dodge Viper in testing, but will it last the 45 minutes with the 200% tyre wear? I'm not too sure. But this is actually a really nice range of cars in regards to racing. So if you want to get involved, make sure you check out the link in the description below, or the link that Nightbot posts every so often, and you'll be able to get involved fairly soon. So we're just waiting for the cars to really get out on track. I think Jay Skyring is currently leading the pack. We'll see how qualifying is going to go. I have a funny feeling that there could be a surprise P1 sitter today. Someone that may have not been driving with us for very long, or is brand new here to PNR. So let's head trackside, and then we'll head in car to see how Jay Skyrene attacks Atlanta Raceway. And we'll go inside because it gives you a really good perspective of what all of the drivers on the grid currently have to go through whilst trying to navigate this twisty, windy, undulating circuit. A long uphill right-hander. You can carry quite a lot of speed through there, but if you carry too much, you pretty much race over blind, basically 90-degree right-hander into a long left, into a blind long right-hander at the bottom of the hill. Late apex it if you can. With a fast left-right that doesn't really exist, into a left-hander that will catch you out if you carry far too much speed. But really nicely handled there by Jay Skyring. There is a GT4 by looks of it, or maybe another sprint car just ahead of them, so hopefully that won't hinder them too much. Into pretty much what is an off-camber, or a nicely cambered right, and then off over crest right-hander. I will get my words out properly in a minute. To the long, sweeping straight down into the really tight 90-degree left, 90-degree right chicane section, downhill into the braking zone. The Americans really seem to like their downhill braking zones there, one at Road America and here at Road Atlanta. Really nicely done there by Jay Skyring. Carried plenty of speed through. Got the car nice and rotated. Make sure you make the entry into the corner for the last corner as wide as possible. And over the timeline with a 22.343, and I don't think that's a bad lap time at all. But as I say that, Butler nips ahead with a 22.7, and Butler has been racy for the past few weeks and actually got his first PNR race win last week. So hopefully Butler can get another one and start causing a bit of mayhem with the top of the grid. 66 over the line in third place. Gullick is in P5. Poliska moves into P4. Poirero is in P6. Moladan in P7. Sobek P8. Cole currently in the GT4 in P10. Burridge moves into P9 GT4. Colson, who is in the Sprint Class Series, is P11 behind the GT4 cars. So Colson really needs to try and find some pace somewhere. Lloyd moves into P3 with a 122.7. Sobek has stopped on track, probably either to A, get out of the way, or back to the pits. Nugene currently also off circuit as well. Moving out of the way. Very kind of them. Very, very kind of them. Hopefully people will return the favour to them later on, although they don't really need to travel off-road. But it's very, very kind of them nonetheless. Sobek is also currently off the road. I'm going to assume, yeah, letting cars through. Very nice of them. Very nice of them, but hopefully they can get some clean laps in. 66 has currently moved down to fourth place now. Lloyd has moved into P3. 66 is also now waiting for traffic to go by, and it's going to be very important here at Road Atlanta to get clear track, because any form of dirty air, especially around the faster corners where you really need your aero to kick in, is going to hinder. Molodan moves up into P5. Molodan's looking rather racy today, currently 1.1 seconds behind Butler in P1. Plisco moves into P6. Mayer drops down to P7, or whether Mayer just popped into P7, I can't quite remember. Coulson moves up into P11, improving his time for 1:26. Burridge has moved into P12 ahead of Mateus in the 911 Sprint Class Series, and Sobek is just starting his speed run now. Lloyd is holding off, so Lloyd's got over the line and now back to the pits to get out of the way. Burridge in the GT4 is currently lapping faster than Mateus in the Porsche Sprint Class. So can Mateus get it sorted and qualify ahead of the GT4 cars? The GT4 cars are quick if you're driving correctly. So what's the price? Skyring just nips into the lead for 22.1. Mateus moves into P10. So Burridge from Cole from Bellet in the GT4 class. Nugene and Mole are yet to set a lap time. So Nugene needs to get a move on. Gillick moves into P8. Pushes Mayer down to P9. It's a very close grid, you know. I think we're going to get some good racing today. Molodan moves into P4, knocking 66 down. Molodan is finding a bit of pace. It's definitely improving. Plisco moves into P5, so 66 moves down again. We're talking tenths here, like hundredths of a second difference between some of these drivers. Now, is Nugene not on a flying lap? He is not on a flying lap, so let's hope. Oh, he was on a flying lap, moves him into P11. So not bad. Where's Spool? Spool's now coming over the timing line. The only one not to get a time so far. And comes over the line, moves into P14. Just ahead, or 2 seconds ahead of the GT4 class. So hopefully Spool will be able to find a little bit more pace so we can have a bit of a race with someone. It's half a second behind Sobek right now. So right now, looking at it, the top two are split by 1/10. Butler is going to be pushing like mad to try and find that 10th effectively. And then the gap between P3 to, well, what's a second? Let's have a little look. So P3 to 6 is within a second. Then there's a little bit of a layoff to between 6th and 7th. There's about a second there. So there's definitely time to be found for anyone below 7th position right now. Plenty of time. Butler pushing on hard. Let's see if Butler can come across the timing line. Oh, and bails out. I'm not sure if that was on purpose or not. I'm not convinced it was. So there's 2 minutes left. Plenty of time to get another lap in. But he's going to have to do it quick. And regardless, he's going to have a bit of traffic. Jay Skyring currently going around the double right-hander to the long straight towards the chicane section to head him back to the start-finish line. And this is looking rather like it's going to be a tasty race. The GT4s are split. The top two are split by half a second. And then Bellet is sadly about 2 seconds off the pace. Which may not sound like much, and realistically it isn't that much in the grand scheme of things. But Bellet might have had a bit of traffic, or he might have to have let people through. So we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Can't quite remember what they did in free practice, but hopefully Bellet will find a bit of pace for the actual race, because that's what truly matters. Don't matter where you qualify, although I can imagine actually qualifying around Road Atlanta could be quite important, as it seems like it could be quite a hard circuit to overtake on. As Mayer runs wide there, and so does Lloyd. Lloyd takes it for a spin and nicely gets out the way. We were looking at Bellet. Let's see if Bellet can improve on their time. Mayer needs to just leave them the room, let them keep going, which I'm sure he'll do. It looks like he has. He looks like his back's right off there. Now, can Bellet get any more time? I think that's 66. Well, Nugene maybe moving into 7th. Coulson moves up into 10th, pushing Sobek down to 11th. Mayer currently P12 off the circuit. Now, is this a faster time? it's faster, definitely faster. So there is definitely some time there for Bella. Lemonade, aka Letterme, says, I thought Mayo was fast in GT cars. I'm not falling for that trick again. Who knows? Mayo might be quick. I hate this track, just saying. Oh, dude, your lap time's not bad. Your lap time is not bad at all. It is a very, very difficult circuit. This is definitely a test of skill, this one. Road Atlanta is not easy by any stretch. All I'll say, Mo, is keep it on the track, keep it going, mitigate any possible errors that might happen, and I guarantee you will not finish last. That's all you got to do. It's all about consistency over the 25-minute race that we got ahead. 20, 25, 20 minutes, 25? I can remember, 25 minutes, I think. But it looks like Butler's now nipped ahead by 1/100th of a second into P1. I missed that. So 1/100th of a second splits the top two drivers. Technically 500ths of a second. And Bellett's found a bit more pace. I think Bellett is definitely getting somewhere, growing in confidence. But sadly, that's the end of qualifying for them. Jay Skyring. Ignore the time at the bottom of your screen. Can he find anything more? He's pushing, and he just couldn't find anything more in the locker. Now Mark Coulson's come into the pits, and Po Rio is also coming into the pits. So let's go through our top runners. So Butler is our P1 for today's race. Let's scroll out a little bit. There we go. Jay Skyring is in P2, Lloyd in P3, Moladan gets P4 and is looking rather aggressive for today's race. 66 falls down into P5, Pliska in P6, Nugene in P7 after a very good late qualifying session. Porio in P8, Gillick in P9, Coulson P10, Sobek P11, Mayer P12, Mateus in P13, and then Spool/Mole in P14. Now the GT4s, we have Burridge taking P1. 6 tenths behind is Cole with his butt livery. He needs to pull his finger out of his ass and find a bit more pace to be able to keep up with Burridge. And Bellet is rounding off the GT4, but was getting quicker and quicker and quicker with each and every lap. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if we can find a... Okay, there is literally only one TV cam. Cool. I don't know how this is going to go. What's helicopter? Helicopter is literally just this. So we'll wait for our 6 lights, and then away we go for round 4. It is a 20-minute race, 300% tyre wear. Tyres are going to get eaten here at Road America. Road Atlanta, sorry, not Road America. And we can hear, I'm pretty sure that's probably Lloyd on the horn. Getting things ready. Here are our lights. Everybody buckle in, get ready. It's going to be carnage. Absolute carnage waiting to happen. 1 light, 2 light, 3 light, 4 light, 5 lights, 6 lights. And off we pop for round 4 of the P&R Multiclass Series. And it looks like 66 has got an absolutely great start on the rest of the front 4. Let's see what carnage unfolds here. We'll keep an eye on 66, who's made a really good start. I can't see any carnage happening from behind. And 66 moves into P4 ahead of Pliska, Nugene. Moladan moves down to P8. So Moladan has been absolutely swamped here. This sounds really quiet. Is it just me, or does it sound really quiet to you? Like the cars are really quiet. Or is that just me? Could be just me. Yeah, I think it's me. Okay. So Moladan falls down to P8. Nugene is moved up into P6 after making a move, but Pereiro is not giving up and is trying to get the position back. don't want the names above cars. Thank you. It's very kind. And it looks like Molodan is having to defend from Eugene, who made a really good start up the grid, so must have just made an error into that double right-hander, which I missed. Molodan's now on the attack, going down in the chicane. Perio just carrying the speed through, getting the job done, still holding P6. Mole has moved up into, or did move up into P11, but now has fallen down the way. It does look like Coulson and Mayer have had quite an incident, and Mole is not having a good time by the looks of it. May have spun at the chicane. Lost a little bit of time there. Bellet is also looks like, sadly, they've had a bit of an incident. So Cole is leading the way in the GT4 class right now. Whilst it looks like Molodan has had a bit of an incident. Whether that's trying to overtake someone or what, we'll see after the race. They just need to keep it going. Hopefully they haven't got too much damage. Anything can happen here at Road Atlanta. So Cole leads the way in the GT4 class ahead of Burridge. Eugene moves up into P7. In fact, that seems... Eugene seems to have just got a double whammy done against Pereiro, Sobek and Gillick. Or Gillicki. So a lot is happening back here in the field. Butler leads the race. Skyring in P2 with half a second behind. Lloyd P3. Then it kind of spreads out a little bit. But this little pack here, Gillicki, is definitely trying to get back at Pereiro. Goes down the inside, but Pereiro's defended this once before and knows exactly what he needs to do. Oh, and Galicki just eats the curb a little bit too much and really upsets the rear end of the car and is probably going to lose another position here to Mateus, which he does. So Galicki moves down into P10. Molodan is still in P15, chasing down Coulson. So sadly, as I mentioned, Molodan sadly just not quite getting the race drive that they quite rightly deserve. And it looks like Mayer is getting close to Cole, which is the GT4, and it looks like Molodan is trying to be like, come on then, let's get going, let's get past these GT4s, let's get moving. And Mayer getting the job done, Molodan quickly following suit. It's very hard to get past these GT4s, but it is up to the faster cars to drive safely. GT4s have the right of way, and that's someone going off massively in the background there. I think that might be Mark Coulson. I think he managed to just survive. But Molodan is chasing down Mayer, who runs wide. But again, the GT4 of Cole doesn't need to move out of the way. It's up to the sprint class to get past safely, which they'll do now with their top end speed. So Molodan moves up into P11. Mayer goes past Cole as well. Nicely handled there by Cole. Pereiro. Oh, and Eugene's off the circuit. Where is that? That's at the chicane. Coming out of the chicane, so may have been a bit of a spin. Again, people can put in steward inquiries after the race. It's only been 5 minutes and there's been a lot of action. And people are really, really trying it. Keep it going. And it looks as though Cole might have the fastest lap in the GT4s right now. So Eugene falls down to P10. Perio is in P6 right now, and Poliska is also off the circuit and spun. So there we go, like I mentioned in the qualifying lap. Just needs to be careful, Poliska. Everyone gets by safely. Well done. I think that's fair enough. Can't do much more than that. And Bellet, sadly, again, having a bit of a moment. The circuit's so tricky in the GT4s. And Pereiro, as I was just saying, is in P5 currently, quite comfortable. Sobek is 2 seconds behind, chasing. Gillick is closing down Mateus by the looks of it. Gillicky. We'll see what goes on there. The front three, realistically, currently not a lot going on there. Joey Skyring just sets the fastest overall lap of the race. It's a very nice line there from Gillicky going into chicane. Pliska moves up ahead of Molodan. So Molodan and Pliska is also, looks like might have actually ran wide and misjudged the braking zone and comes back ahead of Mayer. And Mayer's now all over the rear end of Pliska. The two pink Porsches are going at each other. We go on board with Mayer. Coming down the hill. You can just see how easy it is to upset the car. No wonder there's been a couple of spins here and there here at Road Atlanta. It looks like Molodan is slowly catching up to Eugene ahead. Oh, and Molodan spins off as I say that. No! You know what? I'm just not going to look at Molodan. Just not going to do it. Oh, and he spins again. This is not the race that Molodan hoped for. Oh, bless him. Keep going, keep going. Keep it going. It's just not what they were hoping for after such a good qualifying session. Just like I mentioned, just little mistakes here and there, just costing him the race victory, just pushing a little bit too hard. Lloyd falls down and has also spun it out on T1 of all places. So that's Lloyd down to third spot, fifth spot in fact, because Pereiro has just gone by. So Lloyd has all that work yet to do again. Again, these drivers are probably just pushing a little bit too hard. We're almost halfway into the race. They need to relax a little bit. Let the tents just disappear. And get moving. And Lloyd again, see, just pushing far too hard, trying to make amends. Just needs to calm down. Get one good lap in and then start slowly ranking up the pressure yet again. Because the more you try and push straight off the bat after a mistake, you're more likely to make errors. So it looks like Burridge is really close to Cole, and Coulson has got a drive through for cutting. And that's Coulson and Spool up ahead. And Burridge is looking like he wants to have a go at Cole. Molodan is also there. Spool has also got a drive through for cutting. Jay Skyring sets another fastest lap of the race, but still 1.1 seconds behind Butler. So even though he's getting these fastest lap times in, I think Butler's just driving the better race today. Can Burridge make anything of this opportunity against Cole? And Cole gets a really poor exit out of the chicane, but defends the inside line. And he has to give room to the outside if Burridge wants to stick it there, and he does. And Cole just closes the door at the right time, not allowing Burridge any room. Cole knows that he's going to have a tough end of this race now in the GT4 category. And Burridge tried to go late on brake. What a move by Burridge against Cole there. That was a fantastic move into T2. Completely blind right-hander, and Cole's looking to sniff back but can't quite do it. And these two, I think, are going to be at it for the rest of the race, and Cole runs a little bit wide, losing a little bit of time. What an absolute overtake by Burridge there. Absolute brilliant driving there. And has got a bit of a breathing space against Cole now after that poor exit out of the right-hander. But again, this is Road Atlanta. Anything can happen. It's very easy to make a mistake here. We've seen that multiple times in the race. Mateus, currently sitting in P7, is slowly closing the gap to Sobek. Pliska moves ahead of Eugene as well. Well, it looks like a move was done maybe into chicane. Pliska definitely likes that part of the circuit that we've seen today. Oh no, so sorry, Porio, sorry, is rather tasty in that part of the circuit. And Lloyd, speaking of Pereiro, is trying to put as much pressure on the driver ahead as possible. I can't quite remember the nationality of Pereiro. I want to say Spanish. No, there ain't one. No nationality to give, so that's why I can't think of one. So Lloyd is looking, and Mateus has got ahead of Sobek. And Sobek tries to get back at them, but just can't quite get the job done. So Mateus moves into 6th position. Sobek drops to 7th. Galicki is going to be the next driver knocking on Sobek's door as we head back towards Lloyd. And Molodan is DNF, sadly, after possibly another error. It's not been their race at all today, sadly. And Lloyd looked down the inside. Couldn't get the job done. Perillo knows how to defend that chicane really well. We've seen it multiple times. So Lloyd's going to have to try and catch them somewhere else. Catch them off guard. He's looking into T1. Lloyd is really trying to find Perillo's weakness, who covers the inside into this right-hander. Oh, and Lloyd runs a bit wide, actually. It's a good defensive driving here from Perillo. Lloyd's just got to keep on prodding. Try and force them into a mistake. Clearly, Lloyd is the faster driver. And we'll have a look at Anthony Mayer. Oh, and Lloyd, just as we're about to leave there, has a bit of a moment. And Mayer looks like target acquired. Eugene. It's just whether Mayer can get anything done. This is 20 minutes of proper hardcore racing here. We seem to have grown a really good community of like-minded folk when it comes to the actual racing aspect. It's just such a shame that Molodan's had quite a poor race, sadly, because he definitely fits into that category. And Sobek is slowly catching up to Mateus as well. But can Mayer make anything of this slight increase of pace that he has? Oh no, not with cornering like that. And Nugent does run wide, and that's an easy pickup for Mayer. For Mayer completely binned it then with that entry into the chicane, but no, it was Nugent that ran wide on exit, and that's an easy move for Mayer to pick up. Let's head over to Sobek. We have a trio of 911 sprint cars here. And we can see Galicki behind is really trying to motor get as much corner exit speed as possible through that left-hander. And these cars are slowly getting into a bit of a rhythm with each other. Oh, and Galicki runs wide. He's really pushing here. He, she, they, not sure. They are really pushing. And hopefully something will happen for the three of them. Now, we've got 5 minutes left of the race. We barely looked at our front runners, so let's have a look at Jay Skyring, who is slowly but surely closing the gap to Butler. Skyring is absolutely trying to murder any curb they come across. Oh, and Butler runs wide, allows Skyring to go through. So Butler ran wide in that left-hander. That's not the first time we've seen that today from any drivers. Is this an online tournament? It's an online league race. Yeah, indeed it is. Damn it. More than welcome to join. There's a link in our description. It's hosted on the World Sim Series website. But it happens every Wednesday at 8:30 GMT. Yes, this is a championship. There is points available. There's no cash or anything like that. And Poliska's disconnected. What's happened? Poliska was in the thick of it. Oh no, I reckon that's a DC. I don't think that's actually, you know, something bad's happened there. I think that's a DC, because Poliska was right in the thick of it, doing really well. And sadly, something's not quite happened there. And Galicki is looking to get all over the rear end of Sobek. As we're going to dive down into chicane. Mateus has had a very good race. And Galicki's looking down the inside of Sobek. Not going to work. But the exit speed of Galicki is rather strong. Oh, a little bit of dirt. It's not going to help. And sadly, that did kind of ruin his exit out of the chicane. It would have been rather good if he didn't quite clip that grass and kept the pace going. But you can clearly see Galicki's hungry. 4 minutes of the race to go. The the tyres on everyone's car is going to be screaming because they're 300. Oh, and Sobek's gone wide. So that's Galicki up to P7. Sobek drops to P8 after an error into T2. And we've seen that. Road Atlanta definitely gets into people's heads, that's for sure. It's a very, very tricky circuit. And Eugene is all over the rear end of Mayer. Have to hand the position away, be kicking himself, but it's a really good exit here from Eugene. Surely not around the outside. Tries to, but Mayer gets the job done. Gets it well defended. Needs a good exit here, Mayer. Which, to be fair, he does get. And Lloyd moves into P4. Clearly got ahead of Pereiro. It looks like down into chicane, so Pereiro, sorry, is now going to be all over the rear end of Lloyd. Yeah, let's have a little look at this. See how this kind of looks and drives. Oh, that was absolutely golden for Lloyd. Coming across the GT4 Bellet. Just gives that a little bit of breathing room. No chance for Pereiro to make a move. But Lloyd needs to make sure now that he keeps it nice and smooth. Really good exit speeds. Oh, and you can see Pereiro just takes a little bit too much curb on the left-hand side. The US Mountain TC, so it's currently 2:15 for me. I enjoy weekend series, if any. There is a weekend series, which I'll let you know after this race. There is a weekend series on a Sunday evening. And Spool has got a drive-through again for cutting. He did say that he really hates the circuit. Currently sat in P12. And Lloyd currently P4. Skyring, in order to miss off the carnage or the action unfolds. No, sorry, we did see Skyring get in front. My bad. I'm losing complete and utter track. And Skyring, with 1 minute 30 left on the clock, well, this lap plus one more, is currently our race lead, but we've seen it so many times of an incident happening. And realistically, for the championship's sake, Butler needs to get something done. But whether Butler can quite catch up Skyring on 300% worn tyres could be rather difficult. And you can see the gap is slowly extending. So this could be it for regarding the race victory, and someone just dives completely out of the way there, not wanting to get involved of the race lead. Let's see what else is going on in the circuit. So Eugene down in P10 is still all over the rear end of Mayer. But the fact that Mayer hasn't crumbled is really good. And Mayer gets a really nice exit speed coming out of the double right-hander there. I feel like Eugene's a little bit too shallow in the entry. Trying to carry a little bit too much speed, when in reality it's a bit more of a slow in, fast out corner. And you can see that Coulson just moves ahead of Spool because of a drive-through. And Spool drive-through is taken. And Pereiro is really all over the rear end of Lloyd's car. So we're coming on to the final lap now. And we can see Mayer and Eugene, and Sobek has fallen down the order. What's happened to Sobek? Oh, it looks like there might have been a bit of an error. So Sobek moves down to P10, Mayer up to P8, and Eugene into 9th. And it sounds like another car's just gone off a little bit there. And that's Eugene, I think. It is Eugene for the place for P9. Oh, and Sobek just outbrakes themselves again. And Pereiro is 1.4 seconds behind now, so clearly had a moment, but Sobek goes for the opportunity for P9 and sadly throws it away in the braking zone. I'm going to guess that's either Spool or Coulson keeping out of the way. And Skyring is our race winner. Butler in P2. 66 currently coming around the chicane, 20 seconds behind, 1 second a lap. The two drivers in front, or 1 second a minute, in fact, faster than 66. The 66 takes P3. I think he'll take that one. Lloyd comes over the finish line to finish P4. Porio in P5. Mateus will come over the line in P6. Really good drive from Mateus. Getting the job done. Galicki in P7. Meyer is going to hold P8 after an error from Nugent. So Meyer comes over the line P8. Nugent will come over the line P10. Sobek will round off the top 10, P10. And that looks like Cole. No, that's Billet. That's crossed over the finish line in P3 for the GT Cup. And we're just waiting now for Burridge. Wherever they are. Not sure where Burridge is actually. Where's Burridge? There they are. Coming round the chicane now. But that was a very interesting race throughout the field, really. The only place I wasn't too interested in was at the front of the pack, because they are all incredibly good and no mistakes were made, apart from when Butler ran wide on the left-hander and gave away the race victory to Jay Skyring, as Burridge gives us a little bit of a show at the end of the race. Very nicely done. So let me talk you through some more of our P&R events. Tonight you have watched the Porsche Multiclass here on Pretty Ninja Racing on YouTube, hosted on the World Sim Series website. On Monday night, we are bringing back the net round of the P&R touring cars, heading to Thruxton, Britain, UK, fastest circuit in the UK. The GT2 World Championship, Sunday night, 8:30 GMT. Not quite sure what that is in Mountain Time US. We're heading to Italia. Mugello Raceway, or Mugello Circuit rather, in either a BMW M3 GT2, a Dodge Viper GT2, Ferrari 488 Challenge, and the Lamborghini Huracan GT2, and that should be a very good race. All of these races can be found on the World Sim Series website. All you have to do is click on the link below and you'll see, I'm pretty sure, all of our events. I need to check that actually, because I just want to make sure that it actually works, because I swear someone told me the other day that it didn't. So I just want to check that for myself. Bear with me 1 second. Oh, not quite sure what's happened there. There we go, music's back. Not quite sure what's happened there. So as we just wait for the standings to update, it takes maybe a couple of minutes. Just see what you guys in chat thought of that race. I thought it was really rather good. Noel says, good race, guys. Mole says, Noah, sorry, says, good race, guys. Mr. Burridge finishing P1 in the GT4 category. Mole says, I made some silly mistakes that cost me fun race. Yeah, I did say that you want to make sure you keep it on the track. Try and mitigate any mistakes possible, but, you know, heat of the moment and all that. Thanks for the stream. We'll check WSS and get ACC to hopefully join soon. Well, this is just AC. This isn't ACC, so this is just Assetto Corsa. And these are all mods, which are completely free. So as long as you've got AC, which is about £7, probably about $5 US. I'm sure you can find it for that much. You can get involved. It's all mods, all very easy using Content Manager. And you can just get involved for free. There is no charge to our championships. Quick look. Yes. So there is all of our... In fact, I might actually tell me to change the email address of the organisation, because that's his own personal email address. I just realised that. It was a good race. Jay Sky and Butler's consistent pace was quick. Yes, it was, Jamsky. 1 second a minute. They were quicker, pretty much, rounded up, which is insane. Absolutely insane. Okay, thanks for the info. See you all around. No worries. Take care, my guy. Thank you very much, Altec. Thank you very much. So we'll just wait for the standings to get finalised. There might be some penalties. We'll see if anyone reports anyone for any particular reason. And let me tell you where they are driving next week. Next week. Oh, I'm ready. I'm excited for next week already. It's going to be so good. We're heading to Germany. Sachsenring Raceway, or Sachsenring as it's just known as, is next Wednesday, 8:30 GMT. If you want to get involved, all you have to do is create a free account at World Sim Series website. Find our events, get involved. They are very good fun. Very, very, very good fun, if I do say so myself. We got some epic circuits in this calendar, we really do. Epic circuits. But after tonight, as I mentioned, it will be the GT2 World Championship, and I'll show you the cars on screen again in just a moment for this Wednesday. I'm just waiting to see if the points have all come in. I think they may well have done. Second lap, first sector was dicey with GT3. So yeah, it's not an easy circuit to do any overtaking, really. And they are, all the standings are up to date. So let's have a quick look at those. Is there a way that I can show this one? Yeah, here we are. So here are our driver standings for the Porsche Multiclass series here at Pretty Ninja Racing, hosted on the World Sim Series website. Jay Skyring leads away with 95 points, with 66 in P2, with 81. Lloyd in P3 holding on with 68. Mayer just about holds on to P4, with Butler closer behind in 5th place by 1 point. So Butler really needs to get some more race victory for the possible chance to win the championship. Really needs to knuckle down and get that sorted. Coulson in P6. Sobek P7 with 28 points. Perillo, after their first race with us today, slots into P8 with 14 points. Sinton didn't race tonight and sits P9 with 9. Mateus also sits joint P9 with 12 points. And in joint 11th, we have Molodan and Rimbano. Sadly, Molodan really did not have a good race this evening, which is such a shame. Gadlicki is got some points on the board, 10 points again. So actually, that's joint 11th as well, really, with Pindalia for 10 points. Ollie Smith, Nugene in P16 with 8 points. Spall in P17 with 7 points. And Poliska and Garrett, sadly, no points after. I'm assuming Poliska got a DC. GT4s, Burridge leads. Oh my god, it's joint first. Look at that. Burridge and Cole joint first with 45 points. After they've both done 2 races, the championship is anybody's in the GT4. So Segan falls down to 3rd spot. Butler P4, as you can see. He did win the GT4 series. Maybe he should have continued with that and got the easy victories. Who knows? Kaolia in P5. Sinton in P6. As you saw, he's also in the 911 Sprint series. And Spall is also P9. Everyone else hasn't really come back for a race, as you can see. So if you want to get involved and you want to get in the GT4 class, it is a very fun car to drive. It's really, you know, just because it's not the fastest on circuit does not mean that you won't have any racing, as you've seen tonight. You can easily get that sorted out. So let's head back to the studio just whilst I load up the GT2 sort of thing. My talents run out fast in the GT4. It might have just been the circuit. You did say you really did not get on with the circuit. Okay. So I'm not sure how well you can see that on stream. In fact, let's just go to the standings so I can show you properly. So this Sunday we are heading to Mugello, Italy. The GT2 class. We don't have many sign-ups quite yet. We only have 3, so make sure you do get signed up for that one. Sunday night, 8:30 GMT. We have some new vehicles that people can pick from this time around. The M3 GT2 is still there because it's a decent car. The Dodge Viper GT2 comes in, which is from 2008. It's a very, very fun, good car to drive. The Ferrari 488 Challenge Evo GT2 is also a rather good car. And the Lamborghini Huracan is also a rather good car. They are all fairly even. They all have their kind of quirks. The Dodge Viper, understandably, isn't necessarily the best in the corners, but when you the torque and when you get the flow and the absolute top end speed of it, it's just mental. BMW is kind of the best all-round, as well as the Ferrari 488, and the Lamborghini, if you can get it right, is an absolute dream to drive. So that will be Sunday night, 8:30 GMT here at Pretty Ninja Racing on YouTube. Please get yourself signed up. We only have 3 right now, and that's 66, Jay Skyring, and Letterme, and they're all in different cars, which is really nice to see. And the standings for that one currently is 66 leads the way with 93 points to Letterme on 60. So 66 at the halfway point is leading the way. So that'll be it for tonight. I hope you enjoyed the race. I certainly did. I thought it was rather good tonight. I think there was good action throughout the whole grid. Clearly, our events are starting to gain a little bit of traction. So if you want to help us out, make sure you either A, join into our events, as in actually drive and race, because the more the merrier. And if you're like-minded like everyone else in this community, you are sure to have a good time. I promise you of that, even regardless of if you have a bad race. Join our Discord. Links can be found in the description, I believe, or if not, Nightbot, if you type in ! Discord or ! Pretty, will bring up the Discord link. It's all very friendly in there. First thing you have to do, though, is call Jay Skyring Mr. Plow. It's an inside joke. I'm sure someone will actually do that now, and I'll get in trouble. But anyway, and also make sure to drop a like and subscribe to this channel to watch more Pretty Ninja League races, as well as the odd video that might come out in the near future. I've been driving the GT3 Mustang and been absolutely loving life. So I really want to do a nice video on that, because I cannot wait for Mustangs to be back in the GT3 game, because I'm just such a weirdo. But until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed yourself. My name has been Anders. It's been a pleasure, and I hope to catch you on Sunday night in Italy. Well, not really in Italy. I'm still going to be in my shed in the back garden. But virtually, we'll all be in Italy. See you later. Goodbye.